Emily, Lily, and the Magic Atlas, The Secrets of Balto. Book day was one of Emily and Lily's favorite days at school. On this day, every student had to bring their favorite book and explain why it was special to them. Emily and Lily thought long and hard about what to bring, and finally decided on their Magic Atlas. After all, it's a book that always brings us amazing adventures, Emily said, packing the atlas into her backpack. Maybe something really extraordinary will happen today? Lily added with a sparkle in her eye. During the lesson, each student took turns presenting their book. There were fairy tales, adventure novels, and encyclopedias. When it was Emily and Lily's turn, the girls proudly placed the atlas on the teacher's desk. "This is our favorite book," Emily began. "It's magical and..." Before she could finish her sentence, the atlas opened by itself. Its pages began to turn, and the room filled with a mysterious light. Before anyone could react, the whole class felt the floor shake, and the world around them began to swirl. When the swirling stopped, the class found themselves in the middle of a vast valley full of lush vegetation. In the distance, they could hear sounds resembling the roars of giant animals. "Where are we?" one of Emily's classmates shouted. "It looks like the Dino Park in Balto, but something's different," Lily said, looking around uncertainly. The atlas lit up, and the words appeared on it. Balto, the era of dinosaurs. "Be careful, this is not a park but the real world of the past." "Real dinosaurs?" one of the girls exclaimed. Suddenly, a huge Diplodocus emerged from behind the trees. The entire class froze, watching the enormous creature lazily munching on leaves from tall trees. "It looks calm," Emily said, calming the group. The class decided to stick together and explore the area. As they wandered through the valley, they saw Triceratops grazing in the meadows, small velociraptors running in groups, and even pterodactyls soaring overhead. Everyone was amazed, but when a deep, threatening roar echoed from behind a hill, their excitement turned to fear. "That must have been a Tyrannosaurus," one of the boys whispered. The class hid in thick bushes and watched as the gigantic dinosaur roamed the valley, searching for food. The teacher looked at the girls and whispered, "How will we get home?" "We need to find a way to make the atlas take us back," Lily replied, holding the book in her hands. When the class hid in the bushes and the Tyrannosaurus moved away with a roar, everyone began to discuss what to do next. The teacher tried to calm the students, but even she felt lost in this prehistoric world. "Emily, Lily, you have the atlas. You need to figure something out," she said anxiously. The girls looked at the glowing pages of the book, where a riddle appeared. "Find the fossilized tree, where the past meets the future. It is the key to your return." The fossilized tree, Lily pondered. It must be a landmark, something that stands out in this jungle. "But where do we look for it?" one of the students asked. "We don't have a map or any clues." Emily raised the atlas, which began to shine even brighter. When she turned it toward the setting sun, the light from the atlas pointed the way. "It's like a magic compass," she exclaimed. "We have to follow the light." The entire class headed in the direction indicated by the atlas. The path was full of obstacles. They had to push through dense bushes, avoid muddy puddles, and cross small streams. Along the way, they saw more dinosaurs, a herd of Stegosaurus grazing on leaves, small Dilophosaurus playing in the water, and even majestic pterodactyls circling high above their heads. "It's amazing," Lily said, pausing for a moment. "I feel like we're in a real Jurassic Park." "But this isn't a park, it's their world," Emily reminded her. "We have to be careful." Suddenly, their path was blocked by a small but fierce-looking velociraptor. It stood in the middle of the trail, watching them closely. "What now?" one of the boys whispered. Emily remembered what she had read about dinosaurs. "Don't make any sudden moves," she said quietly. "We'll try to go around it." As they slowly began to back away, the atlas suddenly glowed with bright light, which clearly startled the velociraptor. The creature looked at them, then ran off into the bushes. "I think the atlas knows how to protect us," Lily noted with relief. After several more minutes of walking, they reached a vast clearing where a huge fossilized tree stood in the center. It looked like time had stopped. The trunk of the tree was shiny as if covered with crystals, and a delicate mist floated around it. "This must be it," Emily exclaimed. The atlas began to glow again, and new words appeared on its pages. "Touch the tree and connect the past with the future to find your way home." The entire class approached the tree. Emily and Lily, holding the atlas, placed their hands on its fossilized surface. Suddenly, the tree began to pulse with light, and around them appeared images from the past. Dinosaurs running through the valleys, rivers full of prehistoric fish, and enormous volcanoes in the distance. Suddenly, the images began to change, and the girls saw the modern Dino Park in Balto, which looked just like the place they were in now, only without the living dinosaurs. The light from the tree enveloped the entire class, and everything around them began to spin. When the class opened their eyes, they were back in their classroom. The atlas closed, and its light disappeared as if nothing had happened. Everyone looked at each other, trying to understand what had just happened. The atlas displayed one last message. Book Day is a day of adventures. Reading is magic that transports you through time and space. "I think that was the best lesson we've ever had," one of the girls said, and the whole class nodded in agreement. Emily and Lily smiled at each other, knowing that their magic atlas had once again made an ordinary day magical. Enjoy the magical adventures of Emily and Lily. If you enjoyed this story, follow our channel on YouTube, where new adventures of the Curious Sisters will appear. Bye!